back to our channel. I'm Nikki.
And I'm Rachel, and we're the Stitch Sisters.
And we're back after our lovely holiday.
Yes.
And we thought we would come back with a what we love this week. But it's going to become what we love this month. Because we've just got so many other things planned.
Yeah.
We've got so many videos we want to bring out to you, and we've got all the online classes that we've still got planned. So we just thought we would maybe cut it down to once a month.
Yeah, it was getting to the point where when we first started, we were so excited, we had so many things to mention, and it really wasn't a lot of effort, but it gradually became more and more work.
Yeah.
And we just want it to be things that we genuinely love, that we want to share with you. We shouldn't be having to go and find things. And a week isn't really long enough sometimes.
Sometimes to find enough things.
We've not done anything but work that week, and we've not discovered any new things.
No.
So over the course of a month, we've got much more time to reflect and to discover new things and to share them with you.
Yes.
But also we didn't want to stop it completely, because we know that you enjoy having that little insight into our lives outside of sewing and outside
we enjoy doing it.
What we share on our Instagram channels and that sort of thing. And we do enjoy doing it.
Yeah, we do. So we don't want to drop it completely. But it's going to be once a month. So how was our holiday? Should we start by telling everyone how it was?
Oh, it was wonderful, wasn't it?
It was
really lovely. And the thing is that I felt like there was a bit of pressure on me, because it's one of my favourite places in the whole world, and I had been telling Nikki about it for years, and then you decided that you guys wanted to come, and then I thought, oh, I hope I've not bigged it up too much, and that it's, it's up to par, that you're not going to be disappointed. And
we weren't.
No,
completely. We completely fell in love with Crete, and we've never been to Greece, so it was our first experience of Greece as well, and we just loved the people and the relaxed attitude and the food and the weather, and everything was just perfect. And obviously the company was amazing.
Well, of course. I mean, the thing I've always loved about Greece in particular is it's just like you say, it's a very laid back way of life, but it's also a very simplistic way of life. They're not wealthy people, they don't have a lot of stuff, but their lives aren't centered around stuff. Their lives are, just centered around family and fresh food and and
enjoying themselves,
socializing. And it's really nice when you're having a holiday to spend time in that environment, because it just kind of reminds you about what's really important and all the stuff that really matters in your life. And I always do that when I'm on holiday. I find myself reflecting quite a lot and thinking about all the sort of, not necessarily changes, but the things I want to focus on when I get back.
Yes.
And us doing it together meant we were really able to have a step back from our work life as well, and really think about what's important and what we want to focus on. And then we went further, didn't we? And when we actually got back from holiday, we decided that what we needed was a social media detox. So that's why it's been so long that you've had anything from us, is purely because whilst we were on holiday, we were still posting outfits and things.
And we'd just come off the back of 30 Days of Dresses, so we were posting every day for that.
Yes.
And it is a lot of stress doing that. It is, and we take pride in the pictures that we take and in the outfits we put together. So it's not just simple things, it's things that take time, and I just felt as if it was too much pressure, and it was too much altogether, and I felt as if I just needed to not do any of it for a while.
Yeah, and we knew that if we both had a break, then we would stick to it.
Yes.
Like, we wouldn't be getting FOMO when the other one was going,
no.
Have you seen this? No, I haven't looked. So I thought that was really, really useful.
Yeah.
And I would advocate that we do every quarter.
Yes.
I think a 2-week break every quarter.
We would do one over
really
Christmas
good for
as well.
our mental health. And one of the reasons that I shared that I wanted to take a break was that I was getting a little bit too caught up in the numbers. You hear about it all the time, don't you, about how social media and Instagram in particular is not good for your mental health, and that there are lots of young people that get affected by that.
By the likes and the
I
insights.
just thought, I'm in my 40s, I'm too old to get affected by stuff like that. I don't care what people think. And then you realise that actually you do, and it is starting to bother you more than you realise.
Yeah.
And I started to wonder why my pictures weren't getting the same amount of likes or weren't getting the same engagement. Was it something I was doing? Was it Instagram? As soon as you get sucked into that way of thinking, it's not a good space to be.
No.
And I just found that the break was really helpful to just sort of pull me out of that spiral.
we should use it as a tool and something that's enjoyable, and as soon as it starts becoming stressful, then just stop doing it for a while, and it makes you reassess everything.
Yeah, it does.
So that's a little update on everything that's been going on in Stitch Sisters land.
Yes.
So we're now back to it. We're
Yes.
back to we've had a normal week. The kids are back at school, and we've had a relatively normal week back at work this week. We've been doing lots of filming.
We've been doing lots of filming, so we've got lots of videos coming your way.
Yep.
So what have we been filming? So
we have done our boho gypsy skirt.
yeah, so we've got an awesome skirt.
That would have gone up on Friday, so it should be there for you to view. If you haven't seen it already, then we'll pop a link in and you can go and watch it after you've watched this.
Yes, it was a lovely collaboration with Art Gallery Fabrics, and we just love their fabrics so much, and it's such a statement skirt that you're definitely going to go and want to watch it.
And then we've got our roundup of 30 days of dresses. So 30 days of dresses happened right the way through July, so from the 1st to the end of July, and we wore dresses every day, and we posted the pictures on Instagram. But we thought, as a nice roundup, it would be good to kind of review the whole thing and talk about each dress, give you the details in detail of the dresses, and go through the month and just talk about it.
And we also really wanted to try trying to do a voiceover on a video,
which we've done.
I'm not sure how well it works, but we gave it a go. We might need some more practice on that.
So that's coming soon.
And then we've also got, speaking of holiday, we have got a video about our handmade holiday wardrobes coming, and that's really that we made several garments for our holiday, and we were going to do them as individual pattern reviews, and then we just thought, we're going to be ages filming them, editing them, getting them out to you guys, and the problem with that is by the time they get to you, you're going to be thinking about autumn, and it's already colder here. I'm in a sweatshirt, and so it's going to be the wrong time to be telling you about summer dresses. So we decided that we'd cover them all. It's a two-part video because it is quite long.
Yes.
But we review several dresses and trousers and swimwear all in the two-part videos of our handmade holiday.
So they're gonna trickle through over the next couple of weeks by the time we get them edited.
Yes.
And then once we've done that this week, we're concentrating on our next upcoming class.
Yes, so we're going to be doing a class on cover stitch machines. So this is a follow-on from our overlocker class. We've mentioned it in previous videos, but just to remind you, it's not nearly as detailed as the overlocker class. Cover stitch machines are much simpler, and there is less that you can do with them. They're really, really handy tools to have, machines to have, and they're great for getting professional quality hems, like the ones you buy on you see on your ready to wear garments. Really good for applying binding in a really neat way. Again, you see that a lot on ready to wear, but there's a number, because there's 3 needles on a cover stitch machine, so there's a number of different types of stitches that you can do, decorative stitches that look really cool. So what we want to do is show you some of those, show you the different attachments, but the idea is that it will be a much shorter class, and it will be priced accordingly. So if you're thinking about getting a cover stitch machine, you can order the class to help you make your mind up about whether you really need one. Or if you've got one, it's a good way for you to find out how to be using it to its full potential.
Exactly.
So that's going to be filmed over the next couple of weeks.
Yes. So should we go on to things that we love?
Let's get on to some fun stuff, shall we? So yeah, I've been binge watching quite a lot of TV since we got back from holiday, especially that first week back. Because after 2 weeks of being permanently outside and being in the sunshine, I was quite enjoying just cuddled up in my lounge. But
also, we got back to quite a cold UK as well, so it was quite nice just to stay indoors. And I always like that first few days back, because I just enjoy being home. Yeah. Because I am very much a homebody. I really enjoyed my holiday, and I had a great time, and I wasn't desperate to get home, if that makes any sense. But when I got home, I was really enjoying it, and enjoying just being here and being surrounded by the family and the dog being back and things like that. So all those lovely things.
Yes. So the first thing that I was desperate to watch when I got back, because it had come out before I'd gone away, but I wanted to wait till the whole series was out, because I knew I was going to binge it, was the second season of Pose. So we've mentioned Pose in a previous episode of What We Loved This Week, and I absolutely loved it so much, and you watched it and you loved it as well.
Oh no, I've not watched it yet.
No, the first series.
Oh, the first series, I haven't watched the second series yet.
And it was just as fabulous. I mean, the ballroom scenes were just as fabulous. It's a much much more serious message to this one, because the HIV epidemic has continued to sort of decimate the LGBTQ community in the second series. So there's a lot of stuff around that, and people starting to become activists to try and raise awareness for the fact that the government weren't doing enough to support people, making medication available. So it's really, really heart-wrenching, even more so than the first one, but there's still lots of amazing fashion. I just wanted to, because this is early 90s now.
I see.
So late 80s, early 90s, so amazing fashion, great music,
of course,
and I just liked immersing myself in that whole little world.
Fabulous.
What was the first thing you watched when you got back?
Well, I've been binge watching the interior design Masters, which is on BBC Two, isn't it? So it's on the BBC, and there's only, I think, 3 or 4 episodes so
Episode
far.
4 was last night.
4.
I haven't watched it yet.
And it's a little bit, I have it, I watched it last night, so it was good. And it is one of those programmes all about the home and things like that, but they've got quite a big panel this time. So there have been design programmes like this before, and it's concentrated on 2 or 3 contestants for a couple of days. This is kind of a bit more like Bake Off. There's quite a lot of them to start with, and then they kind of filter it down as you go through the weeks. It's hosted by Fern Cotton, who I quite like, and I think she's quite warm and bubbly and quite friendly.
I love her style as well.
And I like the challenges, because the challenges are not just about houses. They are going into retail spaces, they're going into student accommodation, they're going into hotels. So it's all kinds of interior design and the way that they have to change the way that they're designing for that particular environment.
The reason I find it fascinating is that even though that's kind of the situations they're being put in each challenge, and that's the prize at the end of it, they are mostly just people that have decorated their own house nicely. So they probably haven't done anything outside of their own home. And I'm one of those people that I love interiors, and I love playing around and moving things around and trying different looks and stuff in my home. And when you're in that kind of state of mind, you think to yourself, oh yeah, I could be an interior designer. And then when you watch this programme, you think, nope, I can just do my house. That's pretty much it.
So it is very good. So I would recommend it. Go and catch up on it.
Yes. Another one that I couldn't wait to watch was the 3rd series of Glow.
Yes.
So it's on Netflix, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. I just think if you like watching female empowering documentaries that happen to be set in the 80s with an amazing soundtrack, amazing hair, and crazy outfits, then it's a good programme for you. And
it's based on wrestling. What's not to love?
It's based on women wrestlers, and I just love the relationships in there. You've got all of these very different characters, but they're all on the same wrestling squad, and they're all having to work together, and there's lots of dramas and stuff happening behind the scenes, and it's about how they support each other and how they're dealing with all the different things that happen in people's lives: divorce, single parenting, relationship breakdowns, new relationships, sexuality. I just find the whole thing, it just makes me smile. As soon as I hear the intro, I start grinning, and I just love it.
So talking of programmes that you love, so just my final one that I want to mention is a programme that's been on the BBC for quite a while now, and it's called The Repair Shop. Have you actually watched it yet?
I've watched half an episode once when I was at my in-laws, and it was just one of those, it's on in the background. And I looked up and I was like, oh, this is good. I'll have to make a note to watch this, and then totally forgot it.
You need to go into the iPlayer and you need to binge watch them, because it is just the most huggable programme. It just gives you a physical hug through the television. But as makers, and whether you're a sewer or you're a crafter, you can appreciate the amount of hard work and skill that goes into repairing items like they do on the programme. Now, they do everything from metalwork to teddy bear repair to clock making to, last night they did a jukebox. They do woodwork, they do paintings, they do everything. And all of it, leather work, all ceramics, everything. And every time one of the experts comes on and starts to talk about their next project, you can feel the love that they have for their skill and for the craft that they're doing, and they completely immerse themselves in doing this job and repairing this item, which are usually well-loved antiques. You know, we've had teddy bears that people had as a child. There was one a couple of weeks ago which had literally the whole family was in tears because this woman came in and she had this push along bear. So it was a bear on wheels that she had as a child, and she had cerebral palsy, and this bear had helped her to walk. Okay, and the bear had got really threadbare, and then her mum had covered the bear, but in an old dressing gown, so this like fluffy dressing gown, so you could see this thing that just looked like this big lump of brown with wheels underneath, and she hadn't actually seen it as a bear for probably 40 years. And they took, this is the teddy bear ladies, they took the cover off, repaired the bear back to what it was, and then made a little bear from the cover that her mum had wrapped. And we were literally, the whole family were like, oh my god, just crying, but with happiness. You know, the people receiving the items are so happy to have them back, and it's just such a joyful program. So if you need a good cheer up or a little cry, then I would recommend the repair shop.
I'm definitely going to go and binge
it's amazing.
Them then, We happened to find a place near us in Bristol, the Folk House, which has all sorts of courses. It's one of the things we were talking about on holiday, because I'd mentioned it to Nikki because she'd said before that she wanted to do some art courses, and I knew that they did that, but it turns out they do all sorts of other things as well, metalwork, pottery. So I think we're going to sign up for some of those at some point and try our hand at a few different crafts, maybe inspired by the repair shop.
Maybe we'll bring you along with us so you can see what we're up to.
So speaking of crafts, have you actually done any kind of crafty sewing related stuff since we got back?
I haven't. I've done a few very minor repairs with my sewing machine, but I haven't made anything fresh since we got back from holiday. But I have started a new APP project because obviously as a quilter I can't finish one quilt without having to start in another one.
The panic, I was like, project.
So I've got one that needs quilting, which is sat in a box somewhere waiting to be done, and I just decided that I wanted to just do something with my hands in the evenings. So I've started a new one, and it's a rainbow quilt, and it's tiny hexagons. Hold on a second, I'll get it out. So I've got one of these IKEA boxes which I keep everything in, and then
hold the box up.
Hold the box up so you can see. So these are all the new ones. So I just basically raided my box of solid colours. And took out every colour shade that I had. So I've got lots of pinks and greys and baby pinks and lilacs, and then
let's hold them a bit closer so you can
orange,
see the colours.
And white and apple green and red. And then
I can see yellow.
There's yellow in there.
And
different greens and purple. And teal. But I've not sewn any of them together yet. So
how well you can see.
I've not done this.
Those, but they are teeny ones. This is the size of the quilt you made me.
Yes. So this is going to be a 2-3 year project. Again, I want it to be huge. As always, I always want my quilts to be huge.
But I think all the colours now, but they were in some sort of order.
But I like getting my teeth into something and knowing that I've got a big project to do. But I'm not in any rush. So I've never done it like this before. Normally I'm desperate to start sewing them together because I want to see how it's going to become. But I've kind of put that off, and I don't know whether it's because they're all solid colours that
I think maybe you're just enjoying making them and collecting them, you're hoarding them.
Like see how many I can get. And so that's what I'm just in the mood for that at the moment. So that's what I'm doing, but there's no pressure.
I've just got a vision of you in my head. You know, you got that picture of Scrooge when he's sat there and he's got those piles of money on his desk in front of him. I could just imagine you sat there with your piles of hexagons, just like, look at all my hexagons.
I've not got enough pink ones yet. I need to make more pink ones.
I'll have a look and see what solid colours I've got that you might not have.
Because that's what I thought. If I can just, even if there's only 5 in a quilt, it doesn't matter. I just want it all solid colours. So I haven't got any black in there actually. I did get some black. But anyway, it's
gorgeous.
going to be gorgeous.
Yes.
It's going to be big.
I haven't done any kind of sewing or sewing related stuff whatsoever. I got my sewing machine out to make some adjustments on the kids' school uniforms.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
And
you had a hamster living in there for not in the sewing machine, but in the sewing room.
Yes, so that's big news in the Derrick household, is that my daughter got a hamster as soon as we got back from holiday. I had been promising her Jasper, and he is adorable, but he is so noisy, and he was supposed to live in her bedroom, but he's too noisy. So we keep bringing him down. At the moment he's on the kitchen table, so we just need to find a new home for him. But he has been in my sewing room on occasion.
Do you know what's bizarre? Is that we have a tortoise, my son has a tortoise, and he's currently living in my sewing room as well.
Wow.
So
sewing room pets.
Does
anybody else have pets living in their sewing room? I mean, maybe Jasper could stay in the sewing room. Maybe I could create a permanent spot for him and he can just live in there and keep me company.
We had a little outing this week as well, didn't we? We went into Bath and we were invited to go to Molton Brown, and I love Molton Brown.
Me too.
And they have launched a new range of perfumes, which is brand new to them. And so they've got this amazing clever system, which is basically like a personality test but for perfume, and it's based on pictures. So you have like 20 to 30 pictures, and you just have to choose which one you're attracted to, and at the end it tells you the right perfume for you. And it's quite interesting. Mine ended up, I think it was spot on, because it was quite a soft sort of daytime perfume, which is the kind of things that I like to wear. I don't like wearing anything too strong. And mine smelled of Turkish Delight, which is not a bad thing.
No, exactly. It was lovely. And mine ended up being really intense, and I don't know, maybe I just picked slightly more masculine pictures. There's no way of knowing. But it ended up being quite an intense, what I would consider quite a masculine smell, and I loved it, but I just thought maybe it was better suited to a candle. And they do candles, and my husband agreed when he smelled it and thought it was maybe better suited to him. So it's definitely more masculine vibes. But we were saying afterwards that I'm sure if you were to go in on a different day in a different mood and pick different pictures, then you would end up with a completely different recommendation.
But it's really interesting. The bottles are absolutely beautiful, and they've all got these handmade marble tops on the top, really, and they're really just gorgeous. Beautiful.
But the thing that I found that was most interesting that I learned, I'd never known the difference between eau de toilette and eau de parfum, and basically the perfume is stronger. So the idea with the perfume is you put it on once for the day and the evening, and that's it, and you don't put on as much, whereas with eau de toilette it's a much lighter version. So the idea is that you can spritz it quite freely, and then you would reapply it throughout the day when you notice that the smell had died down. So what else have we got?
I wanted to tell you about a nice eyeshadow that I bought for a holiday. So this is just a little product thing, and you may have heard of Charlotte Tilbury, because their products are all over Facebook and all over Instagram, and I really love their makeup range. I'm quite new to it, but it's the kind of thing that every time I see one of their adverts I think, oh, I need some of that.
Those icon lipsticks are the ones that get me.
They're
shades of red lipsticks that are named after icons.
Oh, nice.
And just want them all.
We want all of it. But basically I treated myself to a new eyeshadow. So it comes in these little sort of jars like this, and it's a cream eyeshadow. So you can see it is kind of there, and it's a shiny one. They're called, what were they called? Eyes to Mesmerise is what it's called, and I chose the rose gold.
Have you mesmerised
half them on? I've not seen
it's lovely.
But it's because it's a cream. You can just stick your finger in it and rub it on your eye. On your eye.
Does it stay?
It stays all day. It doesn't come off. Once it's on, it dries, and it doesn't crack. It doesn't do. It's just a really, really good product. And I've been looking for kind of cream eyeshadows for ages, and they haven't quite filtered through to the normal high street yet. And the ones that I have found dry out quite easily, and they've not really been
always
good.
found with cream eyeshadows is you put it on your lower lid, and then over the course of the day you end up with a mirror of it moves on the top, so it doesn't stay. But that one looks like it stays really well.
I put it on this morning before I met you, and I haven't done anything with it since.
Nice.
So yeah, so I like it. They have various different colours. They're all quite natural, so quite shades of browns and golds and creams and things like that. But they are quite expensive. They're about £24 each, but I would say that they're really worth it. You get really good coverage. It's a really good product, and it's worth checking them out. So go and have a look.
Awesome. Trying to think if there's anything that I've bought that might be of interest. Oh, there's a book that actually I might be worth sharing. So as you know, I have been much more health aware in recent months, and I did have a proper break from that for holiday. Don't worry.
There was
lots of wine drunk, lots of ice cream eaten, chips and all sorts of things. But I'm back now to trying to be healthy. And it's not necessarily for me about following a particular diet as such. It's more about trying to give my body what I know it's going to benefit from, and cut out the stuff that I know it's not. And my sister-in-law recommended this awesome book to me, which I ordered straight away, and I'm so glad I did. And it's called How to Eat Better, and it's by James Wong. And it basically, you know how you're seeing all the time in the papers and stuff, different reports saying chocolate's really good for you, chocolate's really bad for you, wine's really good for you, wine's really bad for you. And he explains all the different types of studies that are done in relation to food, and how much sort of credit you should give them. So a lot of the studies that are quoted actually have been a survey on a very, very small group of people, or haven't actually tested anything scientific. It's just asking them for feedback and that sort of thing. And so sometimes you can put too much stock into those when they don't actually mean that much.
Sometimes it's advertising.
It is, and you don't know who's funded the study, and therefore what outcome they were looking for. So sometimes it can be quite biased. So he talks through the different scientific studies and how to sort of gauge how much credit you should give them. But then what he does is he goes through all the different fruits and vegetables, and as well as coffee, chocolate, wine, that sort of thing, bread, pasta, grains, and he talks you through all of the scientific research related to them. It tells you what the good probiotics and vitamins and antibodies and stuff that are in them. But he also tells you how to store and cook them, and which varieties to choose to maximise the amount of nutrients that you're getting from them. So little things like, for instance, putting tomatoes on your windowsill instead of putting them in the fridge, like it gives you 10 times the amount of nutrients. Choosing red apples over green apples, and the redder the apple, again, the more nutrients are in them. Cooking things just for a short time. So for instance, blueberries, instead of eating them raw, if you were to make a compote without adding extra sugar, but literally just for 2 or 3 minutes, you're making them so much more healthy. And I just find it fascinating. It's just taught me so much about different
What's it called?
foods. It's called How to Eat Better by James Wong. I just really love that it's not preachy at all. It's just information, and I just find it fascinating. So
we'll stick it in our Amazon shop, and then we'll link it underneath so you can go and check it out.
So that's a lot of general stuff that's been going on with us, but we haven't actually mentioned barely any sewing related stuff at all. So I have started, I don't know about you, but I have now started to look into my autumn winter wardrobe. The process begins of spending quite a bit of time on Pinterest.
Yes, and looking at all the big brands. So I like to go and look at their websites and see what's new in, and any kind of style information that they give you, like little blog posts that they write and things like that.
Yes.
So we're doing some research.
But I'm also started thinking about my making, and the main thing that I've decided so far is, and I have been getting more and more selective every year, but I'm going to get even more so.
Yes.
So I've decided that I want to focus on making things that I can't find anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know, I want things that just have real wow factor for me, and stuff that I have a lot of fun making, one of a kind stuff. So that I just have a bit more fun with it, but still making really good quality.
Not quick things. I think we want to make things which are like, we want to make jeans. And we've got some shirts.
Well, that's a staple that I'm making an exception for, because I'm not planning on making any like crazy jeans or anything. There will just be functional jeans.
There might be crazy jeans.
But we wear jeans a lot, and we tend to buy them, and we just think it's about time that I have made jeans before, but then I've struggled with weight fluctuations, so I'm going to make a looser fit style so I don't have to worry about that quite so much. And my plan is, because I really struggle to find decent quality denim that doesn't shrink too much, that doesn't, that has a nice bit of distress to it. So I think my plan is to just make my jeans from secondhand jeans. If I just, find them in a size that's slightly bigger than my own, so I can cut my pattern pieces out of the jeans. And it might even save a bit of work, because I can reuse things like belt loops, maybe resize the waistband, reuse the pockets, that sort of thing. But then make them whatever pattern I want. So that's going to be interesting. Top things on my list is I've bought some leopard print coat fabric. To make the Avid Seamstress coat.
I'm making one as well, but not in leopard print, otherwise we'd look like...
Yes, well, you're trying to find a nice baby pink wool, aren't you?
Yeah, so I want quite an ice pink wool is what I'd quite like. Something maybe kind of teddy bearish, but maybe not quite that, but something with a bit of texture is what I'm thinking. So I'm looking for that at the moment.
Yes.
But I'm not in a rush.
And the other thing I'm quite keen to crack on with is I cut out a biker jacket in red pleather early on in the year, and I'd like to get cracking with that.
That was about the springtime, wasn't it?
But I'd quite like to be able to wear that through the autumn. So it's bright red, and so I think that ticks my box of being a bit extra, just by the colour. So I'm quite keen to get cracking with that one.
So I think we're planning on in the next couple of weeks, because obviously it's transition period at the moment, so we'll wait till probably the end of September, and then we're going to go into the shops, and we're going to go and try some things on, and we're going to look at the styles and see how it's filtering through to the high street. And previously we've done kind of seasonal style guides for you, and if you're interested, then let us know, comment underneath, and we'll do it.
Although we have been talking about, whereas before we went with all the best intentions of us actually making all this stuff, recreating it, and then we've realized now that we just don't have time to do that, and there might be one or two things, but so we're going to do more of a kind of, I don't know, helping you figure out which patterns you can use to recreate some of those key trends, rather than us actually coming up with a really long wish list of all the things that we're going to make. So I think that's it. Hopefully that's given you an insight into kind of what's been going on with us.
It's been a bumper catch up.
It has, yes. And hopefully you're more than happy for this to move into a monthly slot, because it would just work much better for us. And we will try and put it out on the same Sunday each month, so that you know when to expect it. But yeah, let us know what you think about all the things that we've mentioned, and we will see you next time in a month's time.
Bye.
Bye.